The Cleveland Browns said that they will not trade their superstar DN Myles Garrett, despite his request for a trade. Seems to be an interesting situation brewing here in Cleveland. JB, I'm gonna start with you first. What's your take on this? Do you agree with the Browns kind of, standing strong and saying, "Hey, you're under contract. You signed that line. We're not gonna just trade you because you asked for it." To your point a few minutes ago, with the NBA, it feels like owners are taking back, or GMs or whatever, taking back control. Do you like this?
Yeah, Steve, it feels like the owners of the NBA and the NFL got together and said, "Hey, we need to take back the fucking hierarchy here." Like, I love it. And here's the thing. I don't know who you blame. Do you blame the ownership group and the GM for signing Deshaun Watson to the worst NFL contract ever and not being able to fulfill a roster around a guy like this, who I think has 102 sacks in his 20s? He only trails Reggie White, I believe, and Jared Allen.
Phenomenal.
So he's on a pace to be a wreck shop, for the future, but he wants to win, apparently. So he didn't care about extension, he said. He didn't care about future money with Cleveland, Steve. He just wants out. And I'm glad that Cleveland's holding him and saying, "No, we're going to stand on business. You can't just leave."
Coach, if he's your most bankable, tradable commodity and you get a good enough deal, why not? I mean, make him your Herschel Walker. Again, Cleveland didn't say forever. They said, well, no, not right now, basically. They never say that part. But if you are in a position where a team wants to give you a frontline starter, a first-round draft choice or 3, another second, another third, maybe a quarterback that you can actually kind of be useful with.
Yeah.
Again, that is the caveat to all of this is like, if you say, all right, Myles Garrett is no longer part of our future, you might lose leverage. Now, if you say, hey, this guy's untouchable, and teams understand, look, I got to come with at least 2 first-round draft choices and a starting player, well, at that point, you become a little bit more reasonable in terms of, will we deal Myles Garrett? I mean, look, I kind of get where Myles Garrett is coming from. The first half of his career looks like he's headed to the Hall of Fame, is over. But the other half now, he wants to do one thing. I've made my money. I have some security. I'd like to win now. And so it's not an unreasonable request.
Yeah, it's been what? 8? It's been quite some time, right? Was it 7, 8 seasons?
7. Yeah, he's at least 6, 7 years in.
Yeah, so it's not like he's not like some soft guy who's back now. He's paid his dues, and I get JB's point. You sign a dotted line, I understand it, but I'm sure when he signed it, it's 2 reasons. One, yeah, of course you want to get paid, of course, duh. But then 2, I'm sure he had to try to have some faith in the GM and in the team that they would put together.
Here's my point, though. He's not a free agent, right?
No, I don't believe so.
So that means he recently signed a contract worth pretty damn decent coin.
Right, but again, if he's making a request, that's different than a demand. My view is this: hey, I request this, and I'd say no. It's kind of like, to make it to politics, these Democrats are requesting a lot of things for Trump, and he says no, and it's great. That's just kind of the way it is.
It's I've been saying this, though, like, it's not sustainable, the track that we're on, to have zero accountability, zero hierarchy, zero, it's like just let anyone do anything. And we're seeing it in high school now, 4 years in 4 years, or four schools in 4 years. These high school kids are transferring all over the country, Florida to California to Oregon. It's just ridiculous. And then you got college, obviously the portal. We know what that shit show is. And now you got the NFL, where contracts are being demanded out. I just think at some point they're going to have to say, you know what, it's not sustainable. I think the owners are seeing it.
Well, in my view, look, Myles Garrett has not proven to be a problem, though. Until he starts doing a Jimmy Butler, this is not an issue. This is an off-season request that he made. And I'm the Miami Heat, and again, I don't know the collective bargaining agreement, but if I'm the NBA and I'm the Miami Heat, I would just tell Jimmy Butler, you want to sit out, go ahead, we're cutting off your payments. I think that's a breach of agreement. Again, I don't know what they're going to do. But if Myles Garrett goes out there and says every week, I want to trade, I'm unhappy, but he still gives you 3 sacks a game, as far as I'm concerned, he's holding up his end of the bargain.
No, I've never questioned him. I've never questioned his approach or professional approach. I've never questioned it at all. I think he's been a stand-up dude, and it seems like he just wants to win. He's a freak. I mean, obviously.
And I hear, Sheldon played with him for a year. I hear his training regimen, how he eats, how he prepares, it's ridiculous. Like he has everything's structured and 2 workouts a day and eats it. Like he don't play around. So to Steve Kennel, one of my favorite quotes. He's a serious guy. Like, he's a serious person.
I mean, look, he can
Serious
make
human.
a request.
Serious human. Yeah.
And the Browns can look around. It just kind of reminded me of Kobe. Kobe was bitching and moaning, let's be honest about it, in the summer of 2007. Oh, I want out of here. And, going on every talk show. And Jerry Buss once again showed why he's the greatest owner in a major American sports history. He said, Kobe, I want to explain something to you. You are a 24-karat diamond. That is true. But just getting 3 8-karat diamonds back in return does not make it an equal trade. Now, here's what we're going to do. We will explore options. And if it's good for us, then we'll think about it. Till then, sit tight. And then they ended up getting Pau Gasol 6 months later. So this is nothing new. It's been there before. But again, I don't know if the Browns have the track record of Dr. Jerry Buss, though. We have to be honest about that.
And I think at what point does Myles Garrett say, all right, listen, man, I've been to this shithole Cleveland for 8 years, and it is a shithole. Shout out to all the Cleveland folks I know. And you're like, nobody, Steve, Smitty, nobody wants to go to Cleveland as a free agent destination. Like, that's the problem. And I think he sees it and is like, oh, I'm never going to get a comparable roster to help me win here. I got to go. So, I mean, I just think that. Steve, I want to move on to something real interesting, and I get your take on. Roger Goodell has addressed the media and said, on the public perception that officiating favors the Chiefs,